record this. And we'll give people a few minutes to show up. Let's see. Let's tag some people, I guess. Okay. Now I will wait just a couple minutes in case people show up. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Did you have a good day? Yeah, I did. I've done all that before. It's silly. Yep. That's fun, I guess. Okay. So I had to do a little weird thing with the display to get it to work. For some reason it wouldn't just capture the one Showdown window. No. So I have to have it doing the whole thing. Okay, well, 2:10. Let's get started. And obviously, for anyone who misses this or shows up late, this will be on YouTube, so you can watch back what you miss. You can look back over the starting part, which is going to be going over this team. So, the first thing I'd like to do, I've never done this on stream before. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over my Uber's team, which is right here, and explain, like, kind of why I chose the Pokemon I did, my thought processes, the builds, all of that. I'm going to go over that, and then I'm going to showcase, well, a good bunch of matches with it, and then we'll probably dip down to a lower tier and build a team from scratch on stream, so that those of you who asked or didn't ask but would find it useful can, you know, see how I do it, because I like to think I know what I'm doing. So let's see. Let's start at the beginning. We're going to start with Pheromosa. Pheromosa here is one of my favorite Pokemon, and that's kind of why I wanted to build a team around it. So the main reason to choose Pheromosa, as you can see over here, is this insane speed stat. And like base 151 is like the third fastest thing in the game, only behind some of the Deoxys forms. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and open this and the damage calculator, just so we have those open. But if you look, see, Deoxys speed is base 180. Normal and attack form are base 150. And then Ninjask is 160. Pheromosa, 151. So, Pheromosa here is incredibly fast, will outspeed pretty much almost every non-boosted threat in Ubers, except for Speed Deoxys. And I mean, they're Choice Scarf users, so you do have to be wary of those, and a lot of Pokemon, especially in Ubers, like to set up on you, so you have to be really careful about that. But other than that, Pheromosa here is really fast and can hit pretty hard on both ends of the spectrum, as you see. So we go Life Orb for better damage output. The recoil doesn't really matter that much because Pheromosa is not surviving a hit anyway. We go Low Kick for our Fighting Stab, and the reason for that, I used to run High Jump Kick, and most people will probably think that's the more obvious answer at first, because High Jump Kick, if we look, High Jump Kick has base 130 power, and the highest Low Kick can actually go is 120 if the opponent is as heavy, like the heaviest spirit weight category. The way Low Kick works is it works based on the opponent's weight. So, but the reason we go Low Kick is, one, Low Kick has 100% accuracy, does not miss, because there's no accuracy and evasion modifiers in Smogon competitive, except for Defog, which is lowers evasion, so that doesn't deal you any problems. So, Low Kick actually hits most of the Ubers very hard, because obviously a lot of Ubers are the mascot legendaries and other big, powerful threats, so they tend to be very large and heavy, like in terms of size and game mechanics. So, like Low Kick, I'm pretty sure that one-shots most variants of Arceus Normal and Arceus Steel. I'm pretty sure it 2-hit KOs offensive Primal Groudon and Normal Groudon. I think it might not be a 2-hit KO on defensive Primal Groudon. It hits Kyogre and Primal Kyogre very hard. It hits Darkrai very hard. So that's our fighting stab of choice. U-turn is our bug type stab of choice, and the reason we go for this is because it switches you out after you use it, which allows you to get it allows you to maintain momentum, maintain switch initiative, because a couple of things happen when you have to predict your opponent, which is a big part of competitive Pokemon for anybody who does not know that. It is, you want to make a prediction, and if you predict your opponent is gonna swap out into something that can deal with Pheromosa, or they're swapping out into something and trying to predict you to swap out into something, what you do is you go for U-turn. Whatever they switch into comes in, takes the U-turn hit, and then you get to switch into the appropriate member of your team to deal with it. So they either have to sack that Pokemon that they just brought in to try to deal with you, or they have to switch out again, and you get a free turn of damage or setup or status, whatever it is you have that you can do, which is really, really helpful, and you want that. Third move on Pheromosa, Ice Beam. We go with Ice Beam. It might seem weird because we're running a physical set otherwise. The reason we go for Ice Beam is it will nail a couple of the dragon and flying types that are relevant and running around when they try to switch in on Pheromosa, or if they're not Scarf and not boosted, Pheromosa can just come in and bop them outright. The main reasons we do that are Rayquaza and Zygarde. Sometimes you'll also find Arceus Ground is a thing. I've seen it a few times, and you can hit that pretty hard too. You also hit Lugia super effectively, which is nice, although Lugia is really specially bulky, so Pheromosa is probably not going to do that much to it, but it's something. You're hitting Yveltal super effectively, and Yveltal really likes to switch in on stuff. So And then there's Mega Salamence. There's very, very rare Arceus Grass. Like, I don't think I've ever actually seen one, but it exists. And the last move slot is kind of up to you, really. You can go with a few options. You can go, like... Actually, now that I say that, there's not really that much. I mean, you could go High Jump Kick if you want a little bit more power. I wouldn't do that, though. You could go... go Poison Jab. That is actually not a bad option. That would allow you to hit Xerneas. Hey, Ollie. Glad you joined us. So, Outrage... Not Outrage. Poison Jab. Poison Jab would allow you to hit Arceus Fairy and Xerneas. And Xerneas especially is really scary. Outrage, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You have better options. Lunge is not bad, actually, because it's a bug-type stab that does not switch you out. It's stronger than U-turn, and it lowers the target's attack. So if you're in on a physical attacker, or a physical attacker switches into you, then that might keep Pheromosa alive or force them back out, which is always nice to do. So IVs, perfect IVs as always. EV spread, we go max attack, we go max speed, and the extra 4 in special attack just because Ice Beam. No reason not to. We go naive instead of Jolly because we're running Ice Beam, and dropping our special defense does not matter really much because, again, Pheromosa is not taking a hit, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, next party member, we have Yveltal. I also really love Yveltal. You'll find my reasons for running these Pokemon are kind of just, I really like them. But I do have logic behind it, but I also prefer personally to pick Pokemon that I like as Pokemon. And there's no shame in that as a competitive player. Do not feel bad about it. But anyways, so Yveltal. I have Choice Scarf Yveltal. I find this catches people off guard fairly often. Despite, I don't know if it's newer players or something, because I saw this a lot back in the 6th generation in the XY and Oras days. But, so I really like Choice Scarf Yveltal because it catches a lot of things off guard, and Oblivion Wing, which is Yveltal's signature move, is a really good stab move that lets it stay topped up. It lets it heal up after taking Stealth Rock damage. It lets it stay healthy, when otherwise a Choice Scarf user coming in and out all the time would get worn out pretty easily. Oh hey, Steven, welcome to the stream. Thank you for showing up. Dark Aura, it's only ability Yveltal has. A boost Dark Stab, pretty simple. Really nice. Dark Pulse is our main stab of choice because it hits decently hard, has a flinch chance, boosted by Dark Aura. Self-explanatory. Foul Play, we go for that because there's a lot of threatening physical attackers and Ubers, and a lot of them like to set up on you as well. And if they're trying to set up in Yveltal's face, you can catch them off guard. The main threats that would be talking about would be Rayquaza, Duskmane Necrozma, Xerneas, but you don't really want to be in on Xerneas, it doesn't set up physically. Arceus. Arceus is the other one I'm thinking of. Normal Arceus, or Extreme Killer Arceus as some people call it. Like I said, Oblivion Wing, Flying type stab, hits, it hits Marshadow, it hits Pheromosa, it hits, it doesn't really hit that much super effectively, but it's good neutral coverage, and again, the healing is really, really nice on Choice Scarf user. And we have U-turn here. Same reason as we have it on Pheromosa. It's coverage, and it helps us keep switch momentum. As with a naturally fast Pokemon and Choice Scarf user having U-turn, we can bring in, something bulky to take a hit if we need to. EV spread, again, very, very self-explanatory. We go Modest because U-turn doesn't really matter, and we're already Choice Scarf, so we don't really need to... we don't really need more speed. The Choice Scarf covers that and catches what we need to catch anyway. So we go max special attack to hit as hard as we can. Next, Primal Groudon. This is the king of Ubers right here. No questions asked. Every Ubers team needs a Primal Groudon. So Red Orb, that means we have to have this to be Primal Groudon. Desolate Land, that's Groudon's ability. Stealth Rock, entry hazard. If you've played Pokemon in the past like 13 years, you know what Stealth Rock is. It's very, very useful to have set up. Because it can break focus sashes, it breaks sturdy, it just generally wears down and puts pressure on your opponent from switching too much. So I like to lead off with Groudon because it can definitely take a hit, like if I need it to, which I usually need it to, and set up the Stealth Rock. I also find a lot of times people will lead off with like a Speed Deoxys or something as a suicide lead and try to taunt Groudon, predicting the Stealth Rock. So then you can just go for one of your 2 attacks, which we have Precipice Blades. This is Primal Groudon's signature move, ground type stab. The reason we pick this over Earthquake, because remember I talked about accuracy earlier, the reason we pick this despite it's not perfect accuracy is for that extra power, which allows you to KO. Like, this will allow you to one-shot opposing Primal Groudon pretty easily, which I like. This also hits Duskmane Necrozma and Solgaleo and RC Steel, and you can catch faster roosting targets off guard if they try this, like Lugia or Ho-Oh. So that is something to consider. Fire Punch, Fire type stab because Primal Groudon gains the Fire typing. It's also Sun boosted because of Desolate Land, so it hits like a truck, it has reliable accuracy, and it hits kind of the same thing as Precipice Blades does, so you might think we don't really need both, but there's not really much other reason to run anything else. Like, you could run Dragon Tail for phasing, but generally I prefer to keep my Primal Groudon healthy if I really need it at all. Like, if there's like a opposing Xerneas or something, this helps me beat that. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't really matter. Thunder Wave, catch some opponents off guard, slow them down, paralyze them. I find a lot of the time people will bring in like their Xerneas or Arceus and think they can set up in Groudon's face, so then I Thunder Wave them, and they're paralyzed and they're slower, and have a chance to not attack at all. So, again, EV spread, very, very self-explanatory. Max health to be as bulky as we can with the last point in special defense for, it doesn't really matter where that goes. And attack, max attack to hit as hard as we can. Primal Groudon's stats are insane. Enough said. Rayquaza. Another one of my personal favorite Pokemon. You have Rayquaza. Not a Mega Rayquaza. We can't have Mega Rayquaza. Mega Rayquaza is stupid. Stupid powerful. I love it, but it's insane. So, Life Orb, same item as Pheromosa's holding, increases our damage output. Doesn't really hurt your longevity that much in the long run because, again, Rayquaza, while not anywhere near as frail as Pheromosa, is not taking hits. We're not built for that. We're not gonna worry about that, and ice coverage is very common. So what we really want to do is we want to force targets out if we can. With a switch, we want to threaten them with one of our coverage moves, like Stab, Dragon Claw, or Coverage V-Create, and set up in their face if we predict that correctly, which lets V-Create hit very hard and also covers the speed drop from V-Create. This also hits Steel types. There are a lot of Steel types running around. I cannot emphasize why we want coverage for Steels enough. Like, you want to beat Solgaleo, you want to beat Duskmane Necrozma, you want to beat Arceus Steel. Like, those, and this team in particular, like, if we weren't specifically running these kind of moves, then, like, Pheromosa would be the only thing we would have to deal with it, and Pheromosa is not very easy to keep alive. So we want to be dealing with stuff like that. And V-Create Plus, even when it's not super effective, that with its base power and Rayquaza's attack, it just generally hits really hard. And Extreme Speed, Priority, pretty self-explanatory there. Lets us pick off weakened opponents that are not Ghost type. And that's pretty much it. Dragon Claw is, it might seem like a weak choice for our Stab Dragon type move, but the reason I go for Dragon Claw over, like, say, Draco Meteor Outrage is because Draco Meteor is a special move and our Rayquaza is a physical attacker. We could go special attack. That is a viable option if you want to do that, but we're not doing that. So no Draco Meteor, we're not dropping Dracos. And no Outrage, because Outrage locks you in. You can't stop using Outrage until it ends itself. And oftentimes what you'll find is that'll just mean enemy Arceus Fairy or enemy Xerneas will just come in and step in your face and sweep you because you haven't done anything to it. Alright, Lunala. Lunala is another mascot legendary, another one of my favorites. It's bulky as hell on the special side, which is, if you'll notice, is kind of something we're lacking. Like we have Primal Groudon with naturally high physical defense and good HP, and we have, Yveltal that has okay bulk, and Rayquaza's a little bit worse, and then Pheromosa cannot take a hit at all. So we needed something that could be bulky. So we went with Lunala because Lunala allows us to switch into Extreme Killer Arceus safely, which is really nice. We can also challenge, but not necessarily beat all the time, in all honesty, Marshadow and Necrozma, any form of Necrozma. And actually opposing Lunala and Solgaleo. And Lugia, we can stand up to Lugia as well with this, which is very convenient. We also deal with Mewtwo relatively easily, including Mega Mewtwo, which is always something to keep in mind because Mega Mewtwo Y hits the hardest of anything on the special side in the entire game, period. So you have Calm Mind. If we predict a switch or we get a free chance with something that can't really touch us, we can get even more bulky and hit a little bit harder. We have Moongeist Beam for our Ghost type stab, which hits the things I just listed. Hits Marshadow, hits Mewtwo if you get a chance, all that. Psyshock is our Psychic type stab, and this move is really interesting, and you'll see it a lot in competitive run over stronger, strictly stronger options like Psychic or Psystrike or what else even is there? I am drawing a complete blank. Actually, well, Psychic is kind of the main thing. But the main reason you would want to run Psyshock over Psystrike is because Psyshock lets you challenge and get around special walls, namely Chansey, Blissey, other Lunala, although that's resisted, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, things like that. Why can't Gengar have Levitate in Gen 7? Because they changed its ability, I do believe. Yeah, they changed its ability. If Smogon doesn't really have the documentation on like why they changed this stuff because they don't really tell us why they changed that stuff. But if you look here, you'll see. Well, there's no abilities in Gold and Silver, but Levitate. Levitate, 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 Curse Body. They just straight up changed its ability. Why? I don't know, but that's what they did. So that's not the fault of Smogon, that's what Game Freak decided to do. I mean, Curse Body's not that bad, but yeah, Ground Immunity would be nice. So that's unfortunate for Gengar. But anyways, for Lunala, the last thing we have is Toxic. Most bulky Pokemon will run Toxic because it lets them wear down opposing threats that are not Steel or Poison type. And I forgot to mention Leftovers. Leftovers, like any bulky Pokemon you want to like stay on the field a long time, you run Leftovers. EVs a little bit in defense because we're not really trying to be physically bulky. We have Primal Groudon for that, but it helps. It helps. And then max special attack, max special defense, be as bulky and hit as hard as we can. Not particularly. Oh, and the reason we have minus attack nature with 0 IVs is because we're a special attacker and we are very weak to foul play. Foul play would probably still kill us anyway because it's quite effective, but we want, generally on your special attackers, you want to go completely minimum attack to take as little damage from foul play as possible. So in Lunala's specific case, it's not that helpful, but in other cases, you'll want to keep it in mind. Like this one, the last member of the team, and the most recent member of the team, because I swapped this in after testing my team out and getting decently far and then realizing, how weak I was to fairy types. So we originally had a choice specs White Kyurem in this slot, but we didn't really need it with the Rayquaza. We needed a different special attacker and one that could challenge Xerneas and Arceus Fairy. So we went with Arceus Poison, which I don't think I have ever seen one on the opposing side of the field ever. But I like this. I actually didn't know this until I was building this team, but the type specific Z crystals, when Arceus hold those, it actually changes it to that type, which I think is really neat because you don't have to be stuck with the plate. The only problem with that, though, is you have to trade Judgment in for an appropriate move of that type. That's why we have Sludge Bomb instead of Judgment. Because Judgment still registers as a normal move, so it won't let you use your Z move. But that's, that's a nitpick. It's not really that much of a drop in power, so it's fine. So, Arceus Poison with Poison Name Z, that lets us go for Acid Downpour, the Poison type Z move. That allows us to severely weaken, if not outright kill, opposing Xerneas. Depends on their HP threshold they're at when we go for it. It lets us get around Arceus Fairy pretty easily, and it hits most other things neutrally very, very hard. So that's convenient. Calm Mind, same reason it's on Lunala. It lets us hit harder, it lets us take hits better. I have shared on Facebook a couple of times. I've gotten set up like 2+6/+6 with this. My opponents have let me do that. I don't know why they let me do that, but they do. And so I forgot to mention, Sludge Bomb also has a poison chance. It's not toxic poison, it's just regular poison, but it helps. It can help you beat stuff. It can help pressure the opponent, make them think twice about staying in, things like that. Recover is for longevity. This is the only reliable healing we have on the team. So Arceus Poison here is kind of our all-around survivability Pokemon. And you'll see Arceus has very good base stats across the board. And the last move is Earth Power, which is coverage move. It lets us bait in and dispatch opposing steel types, which is really nice. It also helps against fire types, like Primal Groudon or Mega Blaziken. And the chance to drop Spadef is really nice, as always. So EV Spread, max health for general bulkiness and max speed because you want Arceus to be outspeeding things. That has a very good speed tier. It's no Pheromosa, but it's good. You want this. And then the little bit in special attack to hit, as hard, a little bit harder. It helps the more you boost up. But so that is the explanation of the team, and as you can see, it is valid for Gen 7 Ubers. So here, I'm gonna drop the music volume just a little bit, and we're gonna get into some games. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't really do this often, but I'm gonna try to, talk through my thought processes while we're playing. See, what... So you guys get what I'm talking about. So, we got a game. Interesting team. I actually like the surprise Excadrill and Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele might be scary. So I'm going to predict we have a Smeargle lead. So I'm just going to play it safe and go out into my Groudon. They surprised me with Excadrill. That's interesting. So he's probably going to set up Stealthrox. So we're going to trade Stealthrox. Yep. I'm completely okay with that. He doesn't really have, unless this Arceus is flying or something, he doesn't have a switch in for Precipice Blades. But I don't really need to go for Precipice Blades and risk missing. Why would your Rapid Spin immediately? I don't get that, but okay. So we're just going to finish off the Excadrill. He does a lot of damage to Groudon. That is completely fine. We don't really need Groudon for this match. It would help against Tapu Lele because Tapu Lele's psychic moves can help it against Arceus, but it is not the end of the world. Taunt. Okay. I was not expecting you to do that, but I mean, this is what Smeargle generally does. Sets up more entry hazards. I don't really care about that because Pheromosa can spin those away. I don't know why you would go for Nuzzle there. I'm immune to that. That doesn't really make sense to me, but okay. And there's the Tapu Lele. I would like to... Wait, can I? What does Psychic Terrain do? Psychic Terrain's the one that gets rid of priority. Yes. So you're probably faster than me. You're definitely faster than me. And you're probably going to kill me, but I'm going to go for Thunder Wave just in case. Yep. That KOs me. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I think Pheromosa is still faster after Sticky Web. We are not. That is unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I didn't think about that. Well, I did think about it, but I thought we would still be faster. It's close, but... So we're going to double out into Yveltal, predicting the Psychic move. And they predict that, so they get rid of my Yveltal. That was a very good play on my opponent's part. I will probably just straight up lose to this thing now, to be honest. So we're going to go into Lunala. And the Arceus, it displays Arceus normal until you know what it is, until it comes out, because you don't know. Just for the record, so don't always assume it's Arceus normal. But we'll find out. Yeah, they have Shadow Ball. We live that, though, thankfully. And that one-shots them, so okay, we got rid of the Tapu Lele. There's a Mewtwo. Okay. So we're not especially worried about that. We might be a little bit worried about that. Given our check for that is dead because they outpredicted me. Although I still think switching into Yveltal was the right play. They did, make the correct prediction. So we're gonna go for the Acid Downpour here. We don't get the chance to. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I just straight up lose to this guy. So that's not a good start to our showcase, our stream, but that's okay. So I'm gonna say GG. And we're done. Yep. So, which we'll see what happens on Showdown specifically, because Showdown's for Smogon, and they have ladders and things like that. You'll see the ladder updating, and after a little bit, if you hang around, it'll tell you what your current rating is and the opponent's, and how many points up or down you went, depending on your win or loss. So I'm probably going to go down maybe 10 to 20 rating points. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So we're gonna look for another game. Not a good start, but that was a very, very good play on my opponent's part, predicting the Yveltal to come in. But I still think I made the right play because I couldn't leave Pheromosa in there. Because if that Arceus was indeed normal or Steel, then Pheromosa could challenge it. And Pheromosa also would help us deal with that opposing Kyogre, assuming it's Primal Kyogre. Even if it wasn't, it would help us deal with it. Okay, so my opponent also has a Pheromosa. They have a Xerneas. The Ganondorf's kind of scary. Celesteela, I don't think will be a problem. What do I think is the lead here? It might be Celesteela, or it might be Pheromosa. I don't know. But we're going to go into Groudon to start off with. Okay, so it's Celesteela. So, I don't know. They'll probably swatch out. Yep. It's Arceus Ground. That is interesting. They might predict me to swap out, so I'm going to stay in and go for Precipice Blades. They go for Defog. Okay. I don't care about that. We do over half. Oh, well, now I care about that. That's unfortunate. I would have expected Earthquake. I would have expected it to be physical, because Arceus is usually physical, but it doesn't have to be, so that's fine. But we can revenge that with our Pheromosa. Unless they swap out, but they don't really have anything that wants to come in on Pheromosa. So they might just let Arceus go down. They might as well have extreme speed, but since it's not stab, because this is ground Arceus, not normal Arceus, it shouldn't kill. We can take one of those. Does it go into Celesteela? That's fine. I don't really mind that much. I'm not even going to bother going for the U-turn. I'm just going to swap straight into Rayquaza. As I go for Leech Seed, I'm completely okay with that. Because V-Create still threatens them. I might go into they might go into Xerneas actually. So what's my play here? I could go for the V-Create, play it safe, because it'll straight up kill Celesteela if they stay in. And it'll deal a big chunk to Xerneas, but then I'll have to give Xerneas a free turn to set up when I swap out. So that is kind of scary. I don't know that that's my play, but it might be the safest play because Pheromosa doesn't come in, Arceus doesn't come in, Naganadel doesn't want to come in, and Dialga doesn't really want to come in. So I'm going to go for the V-Create. As they go for Protect, okay, so now they know I have V-Create and they're not going to... They'll swap out for sure now. So I'm going to go into Arceus. Yep, that's what they did. Although I don't like being in... oh. I don't necessarily like this. They might double back out in Celesteela, or they might just hit me with Judgment. But I can definitely take a Judgment. So... But I can't touch Celesteela, so I don't want to be in on Celesteela. I'm going to go back out and Rayquaza. There's no entry hazard, so I'm not punished for this. As I go for a Reflect, okay. Do you have Stone Edge? I'm going to assume you don't. I'm going to try to set up on you. I don't know why you're going for... Oh! You definitely have Stone Edge. Yeah, we're going for V-Create. That'll knock it out through the Reflect. That's... Pheromosa comes out. So this thing definitely has Ice Beam, but I have a couple of options. Pheromosa doesn't have anything for Arceus, and I have Lunala. Pheromosa cannot touch me with like most sets it runs. I think Pheromosa gets knocked off, but I never see them run it. So what's coming out here? Maybe Dialga, but I have no reason to not click Moongeist Beam as I go into Dialga, so I was right. But I have no real reason to not go for the Moongeist Beam there. We get a crit. That's a little bit unfortunate for my opponent, but I don't think it ultimately matters. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we still get the 2-hit KO. We would still do, you know, about 50%. So it might have been a roll without the crit, and they might have lived, but it just guarantees the kill, which is fortunate for us. Also, please tell me if I'm going too fast. I tend to play competitive matches pretty quickly. They tend to go pretty quick, but please, you know, let me know if you want me to go slower and slow down. Celesteela, you're annoying. Do I want to go into Rayquaza for you? I feel like I don't. But Lunala, I don't really want to lose either. And yeah, I'll go into Rayquaza. And they missed the Leech Seed. That's unfortunate for them, I suppose. I don't see them staying in on this thing. They clearly want to keep Celesteela alive, so I'm just going to set up. Does it go for a Naganadel? Words are hard. So unless you're Scarf, you're not outspeeding me at this point. And I can just safely go for the Dragon Claw, as you are not Scarf, so I get that huge threat out of the way. Naganadel is terrifying. They bring back in Celesteela. I feel like at this point they're gonna sack it and try to get Xerneas in safely, because otherwise they would have just gone straight into Xerneas and set up while I swapped out. So that's what I'm feeling. Yep, They let Celestial go down. I'm predicting either the Pheromosa or the Xerneas. That's all they have left, but I feel like it's going to be Xerneas. As no, it is Pheromosa. So they definitely want to try to pick up a kill on Rayquaza. I'm not going to let them. I have no reason to not go into Lunala. See, Bug Buzz doesn't do anything. Although a special set is interesting. Like, a fully special set on Pheromosa is definitely interesting. I can go for the Calm Mind here. Oh, you're going to try to set up on me? Well, then I'm just going to kill you. As they forfeit, yeah, okay. So, see, their Pheromosa, unless they're Focus Sash, which I don't think they would be. Although they're not Life Orb, so I don't know what they are. But their Pheromosa setting up on me, I could just go for the Psyshock and get around their special defense boost and knock it out. And the Xerneas would come in, not be able to kill me because it would have to take a turn to set up. And then Psyshock would probably 2-hit KO it at that point, and if it didn't, then I still had Arceus in the back. So, with this kind of advantage, there was basically no way my opponent was going to win at that point, so they just went ahead and forfeited. So, good game to them. So, we're 1-1 at this point in the stream, which I'm completely okay with. So we're going to look for another match. And let's see what we got. That's an interesting team. That is definitely an interesting team. Hello, Dino Man. I don't know who you are from the group right now, but hello, hello. Oh, Ollie, that's fine. Have fun with Smash. So Landorus is probably the lead here. So I'm going to work with that assumption and start with Pheromosa. We're only doing Ubers for now. Depending on how long we go, I'll probably I'm thinking I'm gonna build a team from scratch for a lower tier and walk through that process and then play some games with that team, see how it does. So my prediction was wrong. They go to Cloister. I'm assuming they want to Shell Smash. So we're gonna break the Focus Sash because they would definitely be running that, and go into Lunala because Lunala will take a hit. And that is exactly what they do. They Shell Smash. And they do not have the White Herb, so they definitely have the Focus Sash. But we just barely live that, yeah. So interesting choice for an Uber's team, but yeah, ultimately did not work out. Although they did severely weaken my Lunala. They bring in more Shadow, so they definitely want to pick up a kill on Lunala. Do I let them, is the question. At this low health, Lunala doesn't really do anything. Doesn't really beat the Mega Metagross. It doesn't really help against anything else, so yeah, I'm just going to let that happen. I'm going to go out into Yveltal. They probably want to keep this thing healthy. They're probably going to think I have... Well, I'm going to go for Oblivion Wing, so they might go into Mega Metagross. Or, well, regular Metagross, but... Oh, I'm going to go for the Foul Play. As they go for Shadow Sneak, okay. Foul Play still does a whole ton. And they don't go for priority there. Okay, so now they know I'm Scarfed. And in comes the Kyogre, okay. I'm fine with that. Because I can go out in my Groudon and completely get rid of their Rain. Yep. Why would you go for Water Spout there? That is interesting. You should... I don't think that's the play, fam. But okay, I'm going to set up rocks. You're going to try to threaten me. I don't care about that. They might want to set up rocks back. So... I'm going to go out to Pheromosa. Does he go for Earthquake? Okay, we take that. That's fine. As they're faster than me. Okay, so that is a Scarf Landorus. Okay. is excellent to know. So now I have basically no reason to not go into Rayquaza and click Dragon Dance. Because this should, at that range, that should knock out Kyogre. As it does. Excellent. A Beedrill Sword Dance Sweep, awesome. Swooping in lower tiers is always fun. So there's a Mega Metagross. I'm gonna go for V-Create. Knock it out. Really easy. Very, very easy. As they leave. Okay, so I'm gonna start the timer. Oh, you took Beedrill to OU? Dude, save that replay. Upload it. Send it to me. I want to see that. Because that's amazing. So now we gotta wait on either the timer to run out or my opponent to come back. So I hate when people do this instead of, like, when they just leave instead of forfeiting. Like, there's no reason to waste my time like that. But, so. I don't think you can, Steven. That is very unfortunate. Oh well. If you get another one, remember to upload it, and it'll click upload and share, and it'll give you a link, and then you just copy that link and just paste it into Facebook Messenger. Yeah, exactly. Just do it again. So opponent does not come back, loses to inactivity. I don't know why people want to waste time like that, but they do. So, but we won that. So that puts us at what? Is that 2-1 or 3-1? I already lost track. That's okay. So we'll get another match. I like this team. Zygarde shouldn't be hard to deal with. Tentacruel is an interesting choice. I actually don't really know what that wants to do, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. It might be the lead, actually. They might want to set up Toxic Spikes. But I have Arceus Poisons, so that's not a problem for me. And that is exactly what they want to do. So I'm going to click Stealth Rock. I'm going to go for Fire Punch. Yep. They probably thought I would go for Precipice Blades. So you're faster, okay. Well, that'll actually just let me go for Precipice Blades. It does about the same. Alright, so I'm going to paralyze you. As you go for Toxic, okay, that's fine. What you gonna do? Swap into Zygarde. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go into Evoltal. They're probably gonna set up here. They did, but not in the way I expected. But that still, you know, that still benefits me. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Foul Play. Phase me out. Oh, okay, so Lunala getting poisoned is unfortunate, but we can click Moongeist Beam. And it is not a complete Zygarde. That is interesting. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. I kind of want to keep Groudon healthy, but I kind of want to keep Lunala healthy too. Well, as healthy as I can. I'm just going to go for Precipice Blades. Can't put in a substitute now. This might be a damage roll to get the KO. Yes! Well, crit. I don't think that crit actually mattered because it was a damage roll anyway, so it basically just guaranteed we hit the roll we needed, so I'm okay with that. Not really that unfortunate for my opponent. Okay, I'll White Cure him. These usually like to run specs. It might also be Scarf, it might also be Life Orb. So, I'm just gonna go for the Thunder Wave. Does he knock me out? Okay. That's fine. I don't really want Pheromosa to be poisoned, so I'm just gonna go into Arceus Poison. Get rid of the Toxic Spikes. I'm gonna save my Z move in case that Arceus is Fairy. It might be, I don't know. And if it is, I wanna, you know, do as much to it as I can. As I go into Necrozma. Okay, so that's, you know, that's easy enough prediction, but I can go for Earth Power. Do a decent chunk, as they have Earthquake of their own, but I'm faster. So I'm just going to go for another Earth Power. It is a Steel Arceus, that is... I'm completely okay with that. I'm going to go for the Recover, just in case, just see what you want to do. You want to Roar, okay, that's fine. No more hazards up, so I'm okay with that. Drag out my Rayquaza. Ooh, that is an unfortunate miss. That's definitely an unfortunate miss. But this should still kill? Well, it's not going to kill Lugia, but... Well, it might at that range. Yeah, it does. Tentacruel. I don't really want to go into Arceus because it might try to... Oh, well, I spin block, that's a thing too. I didn't even think about that, but... Alright, so what do you want to do? You might go into Necrozma. I'll try to predict that. Okay, you go into Arceus. I guess Arceus was the safer play, because it's not weak to my Ghost Stab. Okay, so you're just gonna recover off everything, that's fine. That still does a sizable chunk. And you're gonna knock out Rayquaza. I'm fine with that, because now I can bring in Pheromosa completely safely and knock this out. The only thing on their team that really challenges Pheromosa is Tentacruel, which they go into. Oh, actually, never mind. You just straight up knock that out, too. So at this point, unless that Kyurem is Scarf, which I don't know if it is, it might be, but if it's not, then Pheromosa pretty much just sweeps here. Actually, now, even if it is Scarf, we're faster, so... I don't see you living this. Oh, you do barely live. Okay, so Pheromosa's not getting the sweep. But that's okay, because we have Yveltal. We can go for the Dark Pulse. They might go into Arceus or Kyurem. It doesn't really matter. No, they're just going to let Necrozma go down. That's fine. So, at this point, I think I can sack Lunala just to make sure Yveltal doesn't go down for no reason. Oh, yeah, you're definitely faster, but at this point, I can set up, I guess. As I go into Arceus Steel, I'm okay with that. I mean, we almost pick up the KO, not quite, but we can just set up again. They'll, yep, they roar us out. I'm okay with that. Judgment, I don't really care about that. Interesting moveset. Alright, now the moment of truth. Are you Scarf? You are Scarf, okay. I thought it was, but now I know. So now we're going to finish this off with our Z move, because that is not going to knock us out. Ooh! Well, that is very unfortunate for me, damn. So we lose because the freeze. Well, that sucks. I wasn't expecting them to get the freeze. I mean, and it's a possibility, but I wasn't expecting it. But it happens. So if that freeze had not happened, we would have won the game. No questions asked. Neum. Yeah, well, we're gonna Neum into another game. Okay, so it's definitely a Deoxys lead, as Mega Salamence. Okay, so I'm gonna do what I always do. They're probably gonna taunt me, so I'm just gonna go straight for Fire Punch. As they set up Stealth Rock, that's fine. And they taunt me there, okay. That's fine. Is it bringing Evil Tall? Okay. What do you want to do to me? That's what you want to do. Okay. I don't know what they predicted. I guess they just want to get rid of Groudon, but, I can go into my own Evil Tall here. I feel like that's my play. Well, I'm Scarf, so I'm just going to go for the Oblivion Wing and get a little bit of health back myself. As that is a Fairy Arceus, I am very much okay with that. I'm going to go straight into my own Arceus. Yeah, we don't care about that. As I go into Crosmo, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. A Rock Polish. Yeah, these things like to set up. A lot of times they're on a double dancing set with Swords Dance and Rock Polish. But they could go into Evil Toll or Salamence at this point to keep this thing alive, but I don't see... Z move. Okay. That's unfortunate. I knew that was a possibility, but I don't like that. Now we're gonna have a hard time beating this with Groudon so weakened. But we can try. Alright, so I'm gonna go into Rayquaza and try to revenge kill. Alright. So that worked out. Although now Rayquaza is slowed down, so they can pick it off pretty easily with pretty much anything they want to. Except for maybe their Groudon, depending on the set they're running. But that's okay. As they do go Groudon. So I'm just going to go for the Extreme Speed. No real reason not to. Deal some damage. And see what they want to go for. As they go for Rock Polish, okay, so this guy just wants to, you know, go fast and set up on everything. Okay, well, I'm just going to go Lunala. I'm going to click Moongeist Beam. There's no point in really toxicking because if he, starts killing things, then I'm not gonna survive long enough for the toxic damage to kill it. So, as he goes for a sword stance, that's okay. You're getting a little greedy there, aren't you? I mean, it might play off, but yeah. So he probably has Stone Edge or Rock Tomb or something. A Stone Edge, which does not miss, so I think we're getting swept here. Unless, something wants to miss, and even then, we're not, we lose. So, I wasn't expecting a double dance Groudon, I thought that would be the Necrozma. So that's, that's unfortunate. Definitely, let's see, where did I go wrong here? Letting Arceus go down was definitely a bad play on my part, but I wasn't expecting a Z move because they usually prefer Life Orb or Ultra Necrozma, so but once they took out my Arceus, that I had pretty much lost right there because I didn't really have, because with Groudon that weekend I didn't have anything to take on their Fairy Arceus. So okay. That looks more like an OU team to me. Like, what are you doing here, fam? But, okay. So I'm gonna guess that we have either a Mimikyu or a Landorus lead. We don't tackle Mimikyu, but we do tackle Landorus. So I think I'm going to lead with Yveltal, which I never do, but okay, so it's a Mimikyu. Yep, so that was very, very fortunate for me. Well, I say fortunate, I mean, foul play was my right play there because I know what Mimikyu likes to do. So here comes Tapu Lele. So I'm going to go into Lunala. And click Moongeist Beam. Okay, Shadow Ball. I live that. So we get rid of Tapu Lele. That's always something scary, so I'm glad we got rid of that fast. There's Greninja. I'm going to keep Lunala for now. So you probably want to go for a dark move, don't you? I'm going to Pheromosa. They go Ice Beam, okay. Ice Beam is interesting. No, they might swap out here, so I'm just going to go for the U-turn. Okay. They don't. Well, I don't really need Lunala. So I'm okay with sacking it here because I have a Poison Arceus that can handle that Toxapex. Or take it on. So now I'm just going to click Oblivion Wind. And that does over half the Landorus. So Landorus switching in goes down, so no rocks or anything for you. Although I wish I had gotten my own rocks up. Didn't really work out that way. What do you want to do? You want to go for Trick Room. Okay. And then go Toxapex. Interesting. Very interesting move. I'm going to click rocks. I'm going to click precipice blades because they don't have a switch in at this point. Oh, well, yeah, they don't have a switch in at this point. And that takes that out pretty easily. Not sure why you would go for toxic spikes there, but okay. I'm going to click fire punch just to be safe. Because we live, don't get the flinch, okay. Take out the Hoopa. All that's left is Greninja. And we handle that. You know, it's very weakened. We handle that very easily, so. So he tries to go for Water Shuriken. Doesn't really help anything. And then, you know, Oblivion Wing's gonna knock it out. That's game. Oh, well, we didn't even need to go for Oblivion Wing because the recoil. Switch in damage plus recoil, yep. Okay, so that was interesting. You don't see Ash Greninja too much. Same music as last time, okay. I've actually fought this guy before, Rigmore. I don't think he had the same team, but I saw this guy yesterday when I was on the ladder. So, probably both gonna lead Groudon. He leads Kyogre, but he's faster, so my weather procs second. Dunsparce soloed Como and Mega Heracross. Wow. Dunsparce taking out a Como, that's impressive. Alright, so they are probably going to swap out here, so I'm going for my rocks. Black Ranger, Blue Ranger, Power Rangers. Theme Team, is that what this is? Alright, well, I'm going to paralyze you. And I'm going to keep Groudon around for that Necrozma, possible Arceus. I'm going to go for Muscle. Defog, huh? Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm going to click Ice Beam. As I go Kyogre, okay. I don't think Pheromosa one-shots Kyogre at this range, so I'm just going to go right back out in the Groudon to get rid of Primordial Sea. As they go Ice Beam, okay. They might go Yveltal, predicting the Precipice Blades, so I'm going to go for Fire Punch, and that is exactly what they do. So that'll allow me to get rid of this Yveltal entirely. Assuming they stay in, which I don't see why they would keep it alive at this point. He barely lives. Goes for a Roost, okay. But that's damage range, so... Groudon's already weakened enough to the point I might as well just stay in and try to get rid of this thing. Yep. Because at that low health, it wasn't going to be dealing with Necrozma, so no reason to bother keeping it. I'll go for Pheromosa. I think it's my safe play. Okay, so they go back into Kyogre. So I'm going to go Lunala. Scald, okay. Burn kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to go Sashok. And if they opt to stay in, this will probably take them out. I think it's a damage roll. Okay, so we get the damage roll. Easy. That made your friend rage quit with Richter. Nice. I haven't really rage quit Smash recently. I did back in the Smash 4 days, but I haven't played Smash recently now that I think about it. I'm going to Toxic you if I can. Yeah, you're setting up on me. I'm going to Toxic you. I'm not about that life. Sorry, fam. And then I'm going to go for Sashok. Because, again, low health, burnt, which means no Shadow Shield. Lunala's not handling Mewtwo, but we have, we have an Yveltal for that. Going for Ancient Power, trying to get the scummy stat boost. So we're both going to go down this turn. So I don't know why he calm-minded there. He's not living. So I don't actually go down because he didn't attack me. So that lets me see what this Necrozma wants to do. I would do Stealth Rock there. Like, I do... Yeah, like... I don't agree with that play. I do not agree with that play. Okay, why... Why would you sack the... I'm confused now. Like, why... Do you have any reason to not kill my Lunala? Alright, I think I'm gonna Toxic this if it'll let me. He goes for Rock Polish. Okay, I mean... That's fine, I think. Fire Blast. Okay. That is interesting, to say the least. So, do you have Stone Miss, is the question. Oh, you have Hidden Power Ice. That's interesting. And then, since you're special set, I'm guessing you have Earth Power, which, I can stall you out. Or you're just gonna go for Fire Blast. Okay. Well, I guess I can't stall you out. Maybe I can? Oh. You do have Precipice Blades. Interesting. Well, that means you don't have anything to hit Yveltal, so... Well, I mean, you have HP Ice, but... Or Fire Blast. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay. So this comes down to Pheromosa. And I'm not entirely sure that U-Turn's gonna one-shot a Mewtwo. It does not. Okay, so we lose. So I was not expecting that Fire Blast to kill Yveltal. Although, I mean, I guess I forget how good Primal Groudon's special attack actually is. It's like base 150, but still, like, I don't know, but good game, Regmore. May I see you again at some point. Alright, so I think I'll just do, you know, 1 or 2 more Ubers matches, and then we'll swap to a lower tier. We'll build a team for a lower tier from scratch, and go from there. So I'm going to lead off my Groudon, as they lead Marshadow. So I would like to paralyze this if I can. He might go for Taunt, but I don't usually see these things carry Taunt. He goes straight for close combat, okay. So I'm going to paralyze you. I'm going to get up my rocks. Another Duskmane Necrozma, interestingly, but... So... I mean, Groudon doesn't really do anything at this low HP range, so... Yeah, they're going to just knock me out. So I'm just going to go in Yveltal. I'm going to click Foul Play in case they opt for the Necrozma. As they don't, they just let this go down. Good play. Get free switch in. Probably to either their Groudon or Rayquaza. Interestingly that we have, you know, 3 of the same party members as... Okay, he goes to the Groudon. I'm going to click Foul Play, because these things usually are physical, yeah. And he's not a Rock Polish set, so he's not, you know, tackling Yveltal. So, Yveltal picks up 2 kills. So that's very good. Meganadel. What do you want to do? Rocks up means no Shadow Shield, but I think going in Lunala is still my best play. As he goes for the Devastating Drake, okay. And so he might have something to knock Lunala out with here. As he goes for Draco Meteor. Oh, we just barely lived that. That might have been a damage roll, if it was. That is very unfortunate for my opponent, but I don't know for a fact that it was. So, here comes Necrozma. He's going to set up. He already went for Z move though, so he... Ooh, weakness policy. That's interesting. I wonder if extreme speed knocks it out at this range. It might not, but it does. Okay, cool. I think that does like 18 to 20%, something like that. So, as here comes his own Rayquaza. So this is probably a speed tie, and I'm gonna go for it. Okay. So now I can just bring in Pheromosa and go for Ice Beam. Yep. Because we saw he was Life Orb, so he wasn't Scarf. And then he forfeits because at that point I just outspeed, I click Ice Beam, and I win. So, yeah. Good game. Pheromosa finishing off that game is nice. So we'll do one more, and then we'll go build an OU team. Probably a Smeargle lead, possibly either the DNC or the Groudon. DNC, presumably Mega, is interesting. Don't see that. I actually have not seen one at all in my recent sessions, so that's interesting. I think Groudon is still my safest lead, as usual, because it'll let me get rocks up. As they go Smeargle, okay. So they might Spore me, but they're more likely just gonna start going for hazards of their own. They go for Glare, okay. Oh, I'm definitely glad that that's not Pheromosa or something. Sticky Web. Sticky Web is interesting. I don't know why you go for Taunt there, but okay. So that's going to make it harder for Pheromosa to spin away that Sticky Web. Arceus Ground. Do I keep Groudon is the question. But they might also predict me to swap out, so I'm just gonna go for the Fire Punch. As they go for Earthquake, they make it safe. Okay. So unfortunate paralysis, but that's okay. I can't go Pheromosa here because of the Sticky Web, so I guess I go Yveltal. You're physical, so Foul Play helps. Although they might also just swap maybe into DNC or their own Yveltal or Groudon. So I'm going to U-turn here as they go DNC. Okay. So I figured that might be what they would do. So we're going to go Arceus. Actually, how fast is Mega DNC? I forgot. Okay, so it's a lot faster. So I think after Sticky Web and after Mega Evolution, it would outspeed us. So, but these things tend to be special attackers. Okay. I guess they thought I was going to go for a poison move. Photon Geyser. Yeah, that's going to hurt. Yep. That hurts. Okay. I'm going to go into Lunala. Well, actually... yeah, I'll go into Lunala. If I need to, I can sack Arceus later, because it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it might help with DNC, but probably not. So. And there's the Ultra Necrozma. Very, very cool Pokemon, in my opinion. But not immune, not invulnerable. Okay, so there's Yveltal. What do you want to do? I'm gonna sack Arceus. Yeah. I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna go Rayquaza. They might go to DNC, actually, now that I think about it. That was a very rash click on my part. They may very well go DNC, but how bulky is DNC? Regular DNC is very... So, yeah, Rayquaza is not challenging that, so here's the question. What do we do? I have to go Pheromosa and try to... I guess try to spin away. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go into Fairmosa. What are you gonna do? He stayed in, he went for Sucker Punch. Okay. So, we lost Fairmosa there for basically no reason. That was bad. That was bad on my part. I should have gone for the rapid spin anyway, to be fair. So that was very bad play on my part. Okay. How much does this do to you is the question. Not much. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, Lunala. Can you take a hit? Nope. Time and Storm. Is that physical? Yes, that's physical. So, we can try to go for the foul play. It's probably not going to knock it out because Mega DNC is still pretty bulky and resists. But, oh no, screw that. It still just totally knocks it out. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. I didn't think it would, but I'm not going to complain. So at this point, we have an uphill battle. There's the Groudon, okay. But we're locked into foul play, so we're just going to go for that. Rock Tomb, okay. We're still faster than you, yeah. As he goes into his own Evil Tall, okay. He's probably going to go Oblivion Wing. But I'm just going to go into Rayquaza. Yep. And he is a little bit faster than me, okay. I'm faster than his Evil Tall, so at this point, we just click Oblivion Wing until we either win or lose. That's basically all we can do now. So hopefully we can finish off the Ubers part of this stream today on a win, but we might not. Yeah, you'll notice because the Life Orb, his Evil Tall is doing a lot more damage to me than I am to him. So this might just... Oh, well, no, that's not a kill. Yeah. And then he goes for Sucker Punch. Yep. So that's unfortunate, but that's how it works. So, alright. We're gonna go and build an OU team. Because OU is the most commonly played tier. It's where most Pokemon are available aside from Ubers, but Ubers is a lot less regulated. So, OU. So, I'm going to build this team around my favorite Pokemon, which just so happens to be an OU Pokemon, which is Serperior. So we're going to go Life Orb, we're going to go Life Orb for damage output. Contrary is an interesting ability for anyone who does not know what Contrary does. It reverses the stat changes that happen, so the main move that you want to go for with a Serperior is Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm normally it lowers the user's special attack by 2 stages after you use it, so it weakens. It's like Draco Meteor. But with Contrary, it boosts your special attack by 2 stages. So basically what happens is you attack, and then your next attack will be even stronger. What do I usually run? I like Dragon Pulse, and there's a couple options. There's a couple of options you have for another coverage move on Serperior. Actually, on the last slot, I'm going to go with Glare. Actually, well, Glare is an option. I think I'm going to go Gay Drain so we can heal. But for this other coverage move slot, You have a few hidden power options. Hidden power fire is not a bad option because grass dragon fire coverage hits everything in the game except for Heatran. What's better, Contrary Leaf Storm or Coil Setup? Definitely Contrary Leaf Storm. Coil setting up is a lot more gimmicky and takes a long time. It's not necessarily bad, but Leaf Storm, Contrary with a special attacking set, is a lot more immediately threatening. Steven? The Coil setup, it does take advantage of Superior's decent natural bulk, like we got base 95, everything, so it's not... But, it takes a lot longer to be threatening. So, I do not recommend that personally. At least not, you know... I mean, it depends. You can build a team around it, but generally, overall, I would prefer the special set, personally. To finish this set off, Hidden Power Fire is a good coverage, like, all-purpose cover options, but Heatran are pretty common. So what we want to do, or what I'm going to do, I don't usually do this, but I like this, is we're going to go Hidden Power Ground. And the reason for that, Heatran is quad weak to ground. And now you're thinking, at least if you know about competitive, you might be thinking, well, don't they usually have air balloons or something? Yes, they do, but if they switch in on you, their air balloon will be popped by the Leaf Storm. And then you go for the +2 Hidden Power Ground, and you knock them out. So, this is what we're going to do. I'd actually prefer to do that. Yeah, that. Pretty basic there. So, Superior. Good part. So, what I like to do is pick a Pokemon to build the team around, in this case, Superior, because it is one of my favorite Pokemon and is a very powerful offensive threat in the OU tier. So then, we want to start picking Pokemon that, you know, cover Superior's shortcomings, cover its weaknesses, and, you know, tackle the things that Superior cannot handle. So we have a fast, relatively frail, speaking, grass type sweeper. So what do we want to balance out with that? Well, I was talking to a friend of mine last night. He knows who he is, and he suggested a good partner to start with anyway, would be, let me see if I find it, Toxapex. Now, Toxapex resists the fire types that threaten Superior. It does not resist flying, though, so yeah, but Toxapex is also just generally super bulky. So we don't want Merciless. We want Regenerator, which heals you up when you switch out. We also want a Black Sludge. That is kind of like Leftovers, except it only works for poison types, and if somebody steals your item with Trick or something, and they're not a poison type, then it'll hurt them. So that's why we want that. We want Baneful Bunker, which is basically Toxapex's unique special version of Protect. And Scald to possibly get burns. We want Toxic for status, and does this thing get Recover? I thought it did, but I'm not saying. Oh, we do. Okay, so we do. So this is a pretty general Toxapex set. I don't know that I've ever actually used this thing, or, well, I have, but, like, it was years ago when, like, the generation started, so we'll see how this works out, but type-wise and in terms of team roles, this is a pretty good partner for Superior. Another good partner would be a Rock type, because Rock resists 4 of the 5 types that Grass is weak to. So Tyranitar is an option. That is the only option that I'm really thinking at this point. Mega Aerodactyl is also an option. We can bring that up from Yu. That's not that, because it's very, very fast. But I don't know. We could also go for Mega Tyranitar. That is also an option, actually. Now that I think about it, we might do that. So I don't really usually use Megatarian art, but we're going to. Actually, I don't really like the idea of Sandstream wearing my own team down, so we're not going to go that. It's an option, but now that I think about it more, I don't like that option as much. We could go Mega Latias. That's actually not that bad of an option. But then that would cover that'd be another weakness to ice, which I mean, we could get something to deal with that. That's not that like huge of a threat. Actually, don't want Megazord Y or Megazord X. I mean, I like pairing Superior and Mega Charizard X. I did that a lot back in 6th Gen. And actually, you'll notice that this team over here actually is does exactly that. So, you know what? Yeah, I think we'll do that. So I'll just copy and paste. Whoa! Wait! No! 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 We'll do that. So, yeah, I like this set. I tried it in this generation, so it's not like just from last gen, and it works pretty nicely to my memory. Although we might drop some of this HP for a little more speed. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. And we'll go Jolly. Just yeah, because the base 100 speed tier is pretty important. So we'll do that. Mega Charizard X resists a lot of things that Superior is weak to. Hits physically instead of specially because you go Tough Claws. Excuse me. So there's our Mega slot taken up. So what do we have to work with? These two share a ground weakness. And Charizard is neutral to ice, Superior resists ice, or is weak to ice, Toxapex resists ice. So we're definitely feeling a very balanced team vibe. We have two sweepers and a Pokemon. We need something that helps set up entry hazards. So there's a couple options for that. I like Excadrill. In fact, that other team I showed for a second ago actually has Excadrill on it. So I like that option, but I might actually bring up a regular Aerodactyl for that purpose, because it's, even though it's like in a significantly lower tier, it does have a very excellent speed, so it would generally guarantee we get our rocks up, but I'm not usually a fan of suicide leads. So there's also Landorus. Landorus is an option. I also have that on the other team. Landorus is definitely an option. It's also like the single most commonly used Pokemon in OU, so it's probably not a bad idea to bring it along, but welcome back, Ollie. Hope you had fun with Smash. So now, instead of so the first hour or so, what we did was I showcased well, actually it was more like an hour and a half, but so I showed off the Ubers team that I've been very successful with. I walked through it at the start of the stream, explained like the way why I chose what I chose, and then the matches were to showcase how the team works. And so now we've dropped down to OU, the most common tier, the overused tier, and we're building a team from scratch so that you guys, because a couple of people in the group asked about this, get, see how I like to build my teams, and I guess get some ideas on how you can too. Obviously, my way is not the only way. It is probably not even the best way, but is the way I find works. I found a lot of success in Generation 6 with an OU team that I built using my method, and I found a lot of success this generation very recently in Ubers with the team I just showed off. So upload the guide to your channel. Yeah, the stream is gonna go up on my YouTube channel afterwards. It always does. Ooh, you know what? It's another fire weakness. Toxapex covers fire, but I want to use Magirna. I like Magirna. It's another special attacker though, but now that I think about it, what does Magirna bring to the table? I want to use it, but does it really fit on the team is the question. I'm feeling like it might not, now that I think. We're not young Mega Mawile because we already have a Mega in Mega Charizard X. I like the idea of Zapdos as well. Zapdos is another really cool Pokemon. And we could go for a bulky set on Zapdos, actually. It would be immune to ground, which Toxapex is weak to. It's another rock weakness, so Superior covers rock types. So yeah, we're starting to get some team synergy. So I'm gonna go with a defensive Zapdos. So the first move I'm gonna click is Roost. The next move I'm gonna click is Thunder Wave because we already have a toxic user. Thunderbolt for actually, maybe not Thunderbolt. Maybe we want Volt Switch. Heat Wave is probably not a bad idea for coverage, but this isn't like super offensive set, so that just doesn't really get good special flying flying moves. So looking at it, thinking about it, I think I'm gonna go Volt Switch and U-turn. And the reason I want both of those, actually, we don't really need both Volt Switch and U-turn. So yeah, I'll just go Thunderbolt. And we'll go especially defensive because Toxapex is physically defensive. And Zapdos is pretty good at this. So we want an odd number of HP, so I will drop that and put that into we'll put that into speed, actually, because that will allow us to outspeed other defensive Zapdos with a similar build to this. So we'll do that. What else do we want? I like the idea of Tapu Lele, but what does Tapu Lele cover? See, I like a lot of these Pokemon a lot, but we want to not only pick favorites, we also want, because we started with my favorite Pokemon, Superior, so we want to kind of play to the strengths of the Pokemon we've already picked, and not just say, oh, I like this, I'm going to slap it on the team. And even after all these years of playing competitive Pokemon, I still have a hard time doing that. I admit it. So what else? What other options do we have that we like? Celesteela is probably not a bad option for another bulky Pokemon. We could have 3 bulk and 3 offensive Pokemon, but it is another fire weakness, but we kind of have that covered. Is there a weakness that I'm missing? We have 2 ground weaknesses that are covered. We have ice weaknesses, that's covered. We have rock weakness, that's sort of covered, but I would like a ground type if we can fit one in somewhere. Or a steel type. A steel type wouldn't be a bad option either. I would also really like a flying type, because we're Mega Evolving Charizard, so Charizard doesn't stay flying. Rip what? Did I miss something? Did I say something wrong? I don't know. So we don't really want to be super weak to rocks. see, we have a flying weakness covered, so we could bring in Buzzwole, which I'm considering using Buzzwole. I like Buzzwole. There's also a Alolan Ninetales, which a fairy type would be good to help Charizard out. Could also go Scolipede, but then that's a flying weakness. Well, we have flying covered. We don't really need Xurkitree. I kind of want a Choice Scarf user just because, even though my team is kind of like my offensive threats are based around being pretty fast, especially superior, we want to make sure faster threats are removed. So I might bring a Choice Scarf user of some kind. So, Scarf Latios, maybe? Well, we already have a dragon, but... Well, Weavile's an option as well. We could go with a Choice Banded Weavile. Actually, yeah, I like that. I like that idea, because, it is another fire weakness, but again, our fire weaknesses are covered. It's a fighting weakness, but we also kind of have that covered as well. And it hits opposing dragon types, it hits opposing grass types, which would include superior because Weavile's faster. So, yeah, I like this idea. Let me think. Fake Out is not a bad option. Ice Shard for stab priority, Icicle Crash. If we need more power, where's Knock Off? I would like Knock Off as well. Actually, maybe not Fake Out. We want a little bit of coverage, don't we? So, what does X Scissor hit? X Scissor would hit opposing dark types, including Weavile. It would also hit psychic types, but Knock Off does that. Poison Jab for fairy types? Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. So yeah, Jolly. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yep. Okay. I like that. And so now, last thing. So we have fighting resists, we have fire resists, we have... so we might want a cleric of some kind. So there's a couple of options for those that I like. In the previous generation, actually, alongside these two Pokemon, I ran a Sylveon as my cleric. And I'm considering doing that as well, but that's another special wall. We could go for Chansey, which is also another special wall. Clefable, maybe? Which is... I don't really know how Clefable works these days, though, so I don't really want to use it not knowing exactly how it works. So I might just bring in a Sylveon, even though it's not, it doesn't seem to be OU anymore. Yeah, it's UU. I'm okay with that. I'll go Leftovers, Pixelate. Actually, now that I think about it, this team kind of doesn't really have a way to handle substitute stallers or setup sweepers, so this will let us get around those. So we'll go Hyper Voice. We'll go Wish. Where is Wish? There is Wish. We will use Protect. And Psyshock is coverage. It helps us beat opposing special walls. It helps us beat... it hits poison types that want to switch in, which would include Toxapex. I think this is overall pretty similar to the set that I have used before. And I'll put in 1 point of speed just so we outspeed opposing defensive Sylveon. And yeah, that looks good to me, actually. Yeah. Okay. And let's just make sure this team is valid. This team is indeed valid. So, I'm not expecting this team to be perfect the first time around. Your teams will really never be perfect the first time around. But by playing games with the team, we will see what our weaknesses are. We will see what we missed. I already noticed right off the bat I don't have entry hazards. So that might be something to consider swapping in. But for now, let's just look for a game. as we get a fire starter theme team. That is an interesting way to start things off. So Superior naturally is probably not doing too terribly much in this match. I'm going to assume Charizard is a Mega for pretty obvious reasons. So what do I want to lead off with? Weavile can help with the Delphox, so Sylveon handles these two decently. So I guess I just lead Zapdos. He leads Incineroar, okay. Do I want to paralyze you? Probably not. I'm gonna... Okay, so Fake Out. I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna U-turn out. I don't know what he wants to do. And go, I guess, into Toxapex, maybe? As he goes Darkest Lariat. Okay. So obviously he does not have a resist for my Scald. Malicious Moonsault, okay. And we can't get burns, obviously. But so I'm gonna go for the Baneful Bunker. He goes Earthquake, okay. I'm gonna go right back out into Zapdos. As he goes for the Earthquake instead of Darkest Lariat, okay. I am completely okay with that. I'm gonna go Thunderbolt. Yeah, that's more like it. Flare Blitz, okay. Takes himself out with the recoil, that's fine. So, just for the record, obviously you would not normally see this kind of thing in OU, but here it is. Sucker Punch, okay. I'm gonna go out into Sylveon, and we might not be faster than you, but seeing a Emvor in OU is something you never see. Okay, so he goes Typhlosion. That's fine. I don't really care about that too much. I'm just going to protect and see what he wants to do. Typhlosion are usually Spec or Scarf in lower tiers, but I don't know what this guy wants. So he goes Eruption, okay. I'm gonna go Toxapex. That does 30% to me. About. I'm gonna click Recover. This is kind of a risky play at this point, but I think it's my best play. That is unfortunate. He got a crit. That may not have mattered, but that is still... So at this point, I'm pretty confident that he is choiced, so I'm just gonna go into my Charizard and go for a Dragon Dance. Which should allow me to outspeed everything else on his team. And see, that doesn't... we don't care about that. In fact, I can quite safely go for another one. And then I can just click Roost. So at this point, we're probably going to get a sweep with Charizard. Like, I don't understand what... I'll Dragon Dance and click Roost again. I don't care, dude. I don't know. Well, actually, I better not get too greedy. I'm just gonna go for Dragon Claw. Take him out. Yep. I mean, we are super low ladder because I haven't really done OU stuff. Like on this specific account. So, yeah. Sucker Punch, that's not enough to take us out, dude. I'm sorry. Infernape, yep. Delphox, not gonna be fast enough. So, we win our first game with this team, but it was a very weird game, so we can just kind of, we're just going to look for another match. Because that team doesn't, you know, it's not typical for normal competitive, that doesn't really tell you anything. And this guy just immediately forfeits, okay, thanks. So let's go look for another match. Okay, we got one. Florges is interesting. There's a Pikamuku. I love seeing that thing. Gliscor might be the lead. Might also be Sableye, which I am not particularly a fan of, but predicting the Gliscor, I'm going to go Weavile. As it is Sableye. Okay, so he might Thunder Wave me, so I kind of don't have a choice to go Zap, but to go Zapdos. As he goes Knockoff, okay. So, I mean, we have a Sylveon for this, but I'm not wild over doing what is... Okay, so you drop my special attack. I mean, that's fine. This is Magic Bounce. Does that bounce status back, actually, now that I think about it? I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that blocks... I know that blocks entry hazards, but it's been a while, so I don't really know. I don't really remember. But, well, we can't be paralyzed anyway, so... I'm just gonna click that. Okay. I can go Charizard. As he goes Light Screen. Okay. I can go Flare Blitz. Onions have layers. Sure, buddy. Sure. So, Pikamuku, Pikamuku doesn't really do anything. It's a very, very passive Pokemon. As he protects, yeah, I don't care about that dude. I predict the Protect, I go for Dragon Dance. The reason for that, Protect is pretty obvious. Dragon Dance will allow me to hit his team a little bit harder before Charizard goes down, possibly clean some things up. And the Light Screen affects special moves, not physical moves, so it's not helping him right now against my Charizard. As he goes for Protect to try to stall me out a little bit. And he goes Pikamuku, and Enter Down is gonna... Yeah, that takes me out. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't really particularly care about that. I'm gonna go Superior. As he goes Togekiss, okay. So that wants to Air Slash me, so I was hoping he would go into Quagsire, but yep, he goes Air Slash. I'm gonna try to paralyze that. I have nothing to lose by going for Thunder Wave there, because even if we went into Sableye, Electric types cannot be paralyzed, so I didn't really have anything to fear at that point. And it will just go out into Toxapex. At this point, I don't know what he wants to go into. He might stay in with this, but he might go Sableye. I don't know. So, oh, he goes Quagsire? Okay, well, I get a Toxic off on that. I'll click Baneful Bunker just to see what he wants to do. He's probably going to Earthquake. Yep. He goes Earthquake. Okay. I want to go Superior here, but the Light Screen being up makes setting up with Superior a problem. So I'm going to go Weavile instead. So he Toxics me. Okay, that's completely fine. I'm just going to go for the Icicle Crash. Okay, he goes Florges. That's going to take that out. And once this Light Screen wears off, he can't put it back up because his Florges is dead. So, Togekiss. He's probably Scarfed, I'm assuming. Yes, he is. And he gets the flinch. That is very unfortunate. So we're going to swap out into Zapdos. As he goes Gliscor. Okay, that's completely fine. I'm going to go Superior here. As he misses his Toxic, that is unfortunate for him. And, okay, yeah, I figured he might Protect there to see what I want to do. And I missed the Leaf Storm. That sucks too. Yep. So he definitely wants to stall out. But Gliscor is not very specially defensive, so... And he knocks off my Life Orb. I'm okay with that. And we die to the poison. I didn't think we would, but... Because it just might be a number display thing. That's unfortunate. Superior would absolutely take care of that. No problem. That Togekiss is still a problem, though. So... So I'm going to go into my Toxapex. He might have Earthquake, but nope, he just opts to knock off my Black Sludge. I'm okay with that. As he goes Quagsire, and he's definitely going for Earthquake here. But he's probably not going to hit very hard, so I'm going to go into Sylveon. Oh, he goes Toxic. That is... And now that I think about it, I kind of want the Heal Bell on my Sylveon. So that's unfortunate, but... And I'm sorry for skipping ahead. I should quit doing that. But, I can go for a Wish here. And he can get Sylveon healed up. And there is the Togekiss. So I'm just going to go on to Zapdos. And Roost, because he's definitely swapping out. Yep. That's decent, but, you know, nothing to write home about. So now we're in here, we're threatening his Mega Sableye. He's probably going to swap out. So I think I'm going to go for the Wish, as he does not swap out. Okay. I'm going to go into Weavile. And he goes for Snarl. Okay. So the Wish pops. We're good. Icicle Crash. Knock off. Okay. That is unfortunate as well. So fuck it, we're going back into Sylveon. I'm gonna try to beat this thing. And we still beat it with the special attack drop. I'm definitely fine with that. So here comes Togekiss. Definitely Scarfed. Probably Searing Grace going for flinches. Yep, that's kind of bullshitty, kind of scummy, but that's what these things like to do. As he goes Gliscor. I'm gonna go Toxapex. So I really hate fighting stally kind of teams like this, but as he forfeits. Okay, I'm okay with that. I mean, because he was pretty much just wasting our time at this point. He would definitely go for Earthquake if he had it, so he definitely doesn't have it. And unless it flinched us to death, you know, which is possible, but doesn't really have the power points on there / left to do that. It's basically just a waiting game on, you know, winning. So we got another game. I see the Tapu Bulu. I like that. Salamence, Aerodactyl. This guy brought an Aerodactyl, which I was thinking about doing. So who do we lead with is the question. They might go Tyranitar, so I'm going to go Superior. As they go Aerodactyl. So that tells me they might have a Flying type move, but I feel like they won't. Because lead Aerodactyls tend to be Suicide lead Aerodactyls. So I'm just going to click Leaf Storm. And hopefully, as he goes Double Edge, okay. And I miss, of course I miss. That is very, very unfortunate. I'm not happy about that. I'll go Zapdos. So that miss sucks because he wouldn't be able to knock Superior out at that point. So then we could have just gone for a Leaf Storm again if we had hit, and then gone for Giga Drain on something else and topped up. So he might go into his own Zapdos, but I'm just going to click Thunder Wave. I have no reason not to. And he does not get the flinch. Excellent. So now we are definitely faster. We will boost up to keep Zapdos healthy. And at this point, I'm just going to go Toxapex. Because Toxapex is our physical wall, that amazing defense. We'll click Scald. I don't know why he's not swapping out. I feel like he should at this point. And why did you wait to Mega until now? Why would you not have already Mega? That's confusing. It's very confusing. I assumed it was Focus Sash, but... Well, I mean, at least that tells me his Mega is not Tyranitar, so... And it couldn't be Salamence, because Salamence, Mega Salamence is Ubers, so it wouldn't have been Salamence, but... So, you probably want to Wood Hammer me or something to that effect, don't you? Yes, that is exactly what you want to do. I'm okay with taking that damage just to get a Toxic off because we're going to get some recovery and we have Regenerator. So I am absolutely fine with that. At this point, I'm going to Charizard pretty comfortably. Mega Evolve and click Dragon Dance. As a Wood Hammer, and see, he just forfeits. You'll find on the lower ladders, a lot of people will forfeit a lot early in the game. It's just something you have to get used to. At the upper ladder, people tend to only forfeit once like they see they're not going to win, and it would just be a waste of time for you and for them to keep going. But here, it definitely wasn't a decided game. I see how I could be setting up to win because Dragon Dance takes out, you know, plus one Charizard outspeeds everything on his team, and you know, Dragon Claw knocks out this, Flare Blitz knocks out that, Flare Blitz knocks out that. Tyranitar could definitely challenge us though, and Volcarona, if you know, he got us at the right time with that, he could set up with that and win. So it definitely wasn't decided. It could definitely have gone either way, but I will take a free win where it is given to me. I have no problem with that. Okay. I like this team. Seeing a Tapu Fini is nice. I'm predicting either a Landorus lead or possibly a Mimikyu lead. So I want to go Weavile, as it is Fortress. Okay. So he probably wants to set up rocks, so I'm gonna... Ooh, okay. So he doubles out into Celesteela and I double out into Charizard. Okay. I am completely okay with that. Celesteela is probably not going to stay in on me, fearing a Flare Blitz, or a Fire Blast or something. As he does stay in, that's interesting. As he goes Leech Seed, okay, I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't love that, but it's not the end of the world. So now I can click Flare Blitz as he gets the Intimidate off, lower my attack back down. But I still have speed, so... As he goes for Protect, okay. I want to kill this Landorus before I heal back up. Because if I go for the Roost... okay, he swaps into Mimikyu, that's interesting. I don't love the idea of roosting in front of this. That's probably what this guy's thinking. I have to roost at this point or swap out so he gets a free Swords Dance. I don't love that idea. So... But I also don't love the idea of letting Charizard go down this early in the game, either. Actually, we'll live the Leech Seed damage, but then finding an opportunity to get back in and heal up will be a problem. But as he goes Landorus, okay. And so we take that out, and it does not. The recoil does not take us out. Okay. I'm not sure what this guy's plans are, but I will take it. He protects. Okay, I get a roost off. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm going to roost up again. As he goes Tapu Fini. Okay, I'm fine with that. What does Misty Terrain do again? And Dragon Moves Weekend. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm going out into Zapdos. As he misses his Hydro Pump. That is unfortunate for him, lucky for us. He does not have a ground type anymore, so I can click Thunderbolt pretty safely. This thing might be either Specs or Scarf. I'm gonna try to paralyze it. As it's a Z move. Okay, Z conversion. Ooh. I'm glad I went for the Thunder Wave. Please hit. It does not. That sucks. So he might Ice Beam me here. He Nasty Plots. Oh, he's getting greedy. Oh, right. Misty. Yeah. Well, now I can try to status him, but yeah, that's, Toxapex, save me, please. He probably has Thunderbolt, or he has Tri-Attack. Okay. So that's interesting. Z conversion. I like that. I like that. That might be something to try out myself in the future, because that is interesting. Tri-Attack. Yeah, we're not living another one of those. So I think we're just getting swept by this thing. But I'm going to let it play out, you know, just to see. Actually, I'm an idiot. I had Weavile and go for Dice Shard. Yep. So that losing some of these... well, I needed damage on it anyway, so Sylveon probably had to go down, but... He's probably going to swap in Tapu Fini here. So I think I'm going to double out into Superior. As he does not double out. That sucks. Man, Superior is not doing anything in this session. I definitely thought he would double out there into Tapu Fini, because then Charizard would either have to sack off or be forced out. So we'll just go back into Charizard. And he goes Celesteela. Okay. So he's probably going to protect here. He's either going to protect or swap again. So I'm just going to Roost. Or he'll go Leech Seed, which is exactly what he does. So I'm going to go Weavile and try to knock off something's item. So there's Tapu Fini. I would really like to keep Weavile alive to deal with the Mimikyu, but we're going to go for the knockoff. Choice Specs, okay. So now we bring in Superior. The problem is, since we're not running Hidden Power Fire, like I normally would, we're not hitting Celesteela. But we do get rid of the Tapu Fini, which I'm okay with. So he's probably going Celesteela here. He might also go Fortress. He goes Celesteela. Yep, that figures. He can't Leech Seed me, though, now that I think about it. So I can Gauge Rain. Oh yeah, flamethrower. Special defense rose. Okay, well, I don't especially care about that. So we're gonna knock that off, knock that out, so it doesn't, leech see this, because this is all we have left at this point. Mimikyu, he probably wants to Sword Stance. I don't want that to happen. So we probably still lose, but yeah. So Shadow Sneak probably takes us out, and if it doesn't, the recoil probably will. But he didn't even go for Shadow Sneak, but he killed us. Yeah, so. Well, that was an interesting game. That was definitely an interesting game. The Porygon Z took me completely off guard. So we might want to consider swapping something out for like fighting type coverage, but ooh. Kyurem, Tornadus, Who do I think is going to be the lead here? It might be Heracross, might be... I'm going to lead Weavile, just because it threatens the Landorus, which is probably the lead. I don't know that for a fact, but it's probably. My throat's starting to get dry, of course. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. So, what you waiting on, fam? My stream went offline, you say. That, no? No, it didn't. That's... Why did it go offline? That's... Why'd you... That's very strange. So I'm gonna forfeit this match, and well, it's been a while, so I guess we're just straight up done here.